Let's talk about the different gachas in the global version of Ragnarok M and whether you should reroll your character to try to get certain items so that you don't have to end up spending money later on. So I want to go over the details of what these different gachas are going to do. I'll talk about all 4 of the different gachas. I know you can only see 3 of them right now, but there is a secret hidden one as well. And also just give you guys some information on whether it's going to be worth the time and effort to reroll your character to try to get certain items. So let's get right to it. And first of all, super important, especially for newer players, is make sure that you guys are talking to this NPC right here at the center of town. It's the NPC that my mouse cursor is over. It's a green exclamation point on my map, and that is going to be the events NPC that gives you your pre-registration rewards as well as daily rewards while the launch celebration is going on. I believe you get rewards for 5 days, so you can go back every single day and get a whole bunch of goodies. You get some really useful stuff, but most importantly, what you're going to end up getting is you're going to be getting a lot of these tickets. Now, there's 3 different colored tickets that you can see. We've got the blue tickets, which I have 41 of in my inventory, the pink tickets, which I have 40 of, and then the orange tickets, which I have 2 of. I'll talk about what these different tickets do because each one of them is going to be used for a different gacha, but let's talk about what the different gachas are, what you get from them, and which ones are going to be most important for a newer player. So we're actually going to start off in the center with the red gacha, which is going to be the most important one. The second most important one is going to be the yellow one on the left, and the least important of these 3 is going to be the pink one on the right. So let's talk about the equipment gacha and what you're going to get from this, what it costs. And as you can see on the right side of the screen, this is all the different stuff that you end up getting. If you click on different gear, you'll notice a theme that every single one of these pieces of equipment has the word Saint in it. So this is going to be your Saint gear gacha. Now you can take a look at the stats of the gear, and it's pretty good. It's got some really good stats on it, but there's one really important thing about this gear that separates it from a lot of other gear. That is actually going to end up being the experience bonus. As you can see, each one of these pieces of gear gives you an experience bonus. You'll either see it gives you base experience for killing monsters, or you get job experience from killing monsters. That's in addition to the stats that it offers for your character as well. So if you want to play the game a bit more hardcore or take it more seriously, a really big advantage that you're going to get is getting these experience bonuses on your gear. That's going to allow you to progress your character much faster than people who don't have this gear. So it's definitely an important thing for people who really want to try to go for as much as they possibly can when it comes to bonuses for their character. Now you can take a look at the rates as well. They're all relatively low, but there's a whole bunch of different pieces of gear that you can get. So roughly speaking, they're all around the same, between 5% pull rates and 7% pull rates. And the question that a lot of people are asking, and I've read a lot of it in World Chat, is it worth rerolling your character to get specific gear? What should you kind of do? What's the approach when it comes to looking for specific Saint gear? And obviously everyone is going to have a different opinion, but I would say that as long as you end up getting any Saint gear that is going to be useful for your character, I would just stick with it, because it could take a really long time and a lot of rerolls to try to get very exact pieces of equipment. Now, something that I would consider possibly rerolling your character is if you do end up pulling and you get a bunch of weapons that are not going to be useful for your class. That's kind of a situation where you're getting gear that you spent tickets or cash shop currency on. It's not really that useful for you. Maybe it is worth taking the time to reroll. But as long as you're getting armor pieces or just stuff that you haven't gotten before, all the armor is actually really good. It all gives you extra experience, really good stats, going to be useful for pretty much all characters. I would honestly just stick with it. Of course, consider yourself very lucky if you did pull and already got the weapon for your class. But what are the costs? Well, this is going to end up costing 10 of those pink tickets, or it's going to cost 10 of these cat-looking tokens. These are big cat coins, which is the game's cash shop or premium currency. This is what you spend money on, and it starts off costing 10. However, as you continuously pull from the gacha, the price is actually going to go up. So it starts at 10, the next pull is going to be 15, the pull after that is going to be 20, then 25, and it goes all the way up to a maximum cost of 50 coins per pull. Now, the good news is it will reset daily, so if you want to get as much value for your cash shop currency as you can, you actually want to stick with doing few pulls per day and spreading it across several days so that you spend less of these big cat coins. So that's pretty much everything about the equipment or the Saint gacha. Now let's talk about the second most important one, which is going to be the yellow one. Now this is going to be your Headwear gacha. Now, if you take a look at the details, you'll see the different things that you can end up getting, and there's going to be 6 different things that you can end up getting from this gacha. Now, one difference already that you'll notice is that the percentage chances from getting stuff in this gacha, they're quite a bit different. The last gacha, the rates varied from 5 to 7%, but now you have 3 items at the bottom, which are going to be the most likely things that you end up getting, and the 3 things at the top are going to have a much lower chance to get. If you take a look at the actual stuff that you end up getting, it's all really useful and very similar to the Saint gear. A lot of it is going to give you extra experience, just really useful stats, and just good stuff for your character. I would honestly go with the same suggestion for this gacha as I did for the equipment one. As long as you just get anything that's going to be useful for your character and your class, I would stick with it. If you find that there's one item that you really don't want and you got unlucky and you somehow rolled that one item, then you can end up re-rolling. But if you're looking for specific things like these items at the top, the percentages are very, very low. So it might take you a really, really long time to try to get one specific item, especially if it's one of the items at the top. Also, really importantly, is why this gacha might even be more difficult to roll than for the equipment gacha is the costs are going to be higher as well. If you take a look and see, instead of costing 10 of the tickets, it actually costs 30. And it costs 21 of these big cat coins. Now, it normally would cost 30, but there's an event going on where it's 30% off. So this one is 3 times more expensive than the equipment gacha. That combined with the fact that a lot of the stuff at the top still has those very low percentages, I would just go with something that's going to be useful and stick with that. If you try to go for something specific like the Golden March, a lot of people want to try to go for this because it is best in slot for this item type. It could take you a really long time to try to go for it, so you kind of have to make that decision. If you want to spend a lot of time re-rolling, well, that's up to you. Now we have the third gacha on the right, and I wanted to talk about this one towards the end because this is probably going to be the gacha that you really don't need to focus on so much towards the start of the game. Now, if you take a look, this is going to give you different cards, and unlike the other 2 gachas, one of the gachas, the Saints gacha, had around 12 to 15 items. The left one, the Headwear gacha, only had 6. Well, this one has quite a bit more than that. There's a lot of different choices and a lot of different things that you can end up getting, so you really can't pull from this gacha trying to get one thing in particular. It would pretty much just never happen. On top of that, there's no sales or any events going on, so it does cost 30 of the big cat coins. There's also no tickets or vouchers that you can use for this one as well. So this is definitely a fun one. A lot of more advanced players like to pull on this one for the gamble, but as a newer player, this is really not a gacha that you should be focusing on towards the start of the game. Now, you're probably wondering, well, I've talked about a couple of these tickets, the pink tickets, the blue tickets, those are used for the red and the yellow gacha on the left, but there's still one ticket in my inventory that I haven't actually talked about, and that is this orange big cat voucher feast. Well, there's another gacha, the 4th gacha, which isn't actually available in the game right now, and it's not actually going to be located where these 3 gachas are, at least if it goes compared to how the Southeast Asia version worked. It'll actually spawn somewhere close to the NPC where you actually get all of your pre-registration rewards and your daily login rewards for the launch event. So keep an eye out for it. I'm sure there will be an announcement in the future when the Feast gacha does come out. It's usually time limited and has very specific items, so definitely be holding on to those orange tickets if you guys are getting them from doing your dailies, but right now you don't really have to worry about it. Very important though, at the very least, make sure that you guys have talked to this NPC and that you talk to that NPC every single day so that you're getting your login rewards and your tickets and your goodies. And if you want to end up saving your tickets like I am, that's totally fine, but if you forget talking to that NPC, you could be losing out on all of your rewards. So make sure you guys do that at the very least. Even after watching this video, you've decided to hold off on doing pulls from the gacha for a little while longer. Wow, I have thrown a lot of information at you guys in this video, so I think I'm going to end up leaving it here. Thank you guys for watching. I'm really hoping that this helped out with some of the gacha decisions that you guys have in the game. And if you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like as well. If you have any comments, questions, or anything you want to say, feel free to let me know. And if you are newer to Ragnarok M and you guys still want help and tips for stuff in the future, there's some videos on the channel that I've already talked about, a leveling guide and stuff like that. They should be popping up on the screen right about now, but if you want more videos, they should be coming out in the future as well. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Take care, and until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.